Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors by the Golden Valley High School Air Force Junior ROTC, led by Cadet Spears. And please remain standing for our national anthem, sung by Mrs. Brianna Mowry and the SB Choir.
Thank you, Mrs. Mowry and the Sierra Vista Choir, and a big thanks to ROTC from Golden Valley. Having spent 10 years there, it really means a lot for you to me that you're here tonight. If I could just ask everyone to kindly have a moment of silence, please, for the victims in the country of Belgium. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to welcome you all home tonight to Sierra Vista. My name is Carolyn Hoffman, and I have the honor of being the current principal here at Sierra Vista. 50 years ago, September of 1964, Sierra Vista opened its doors. We were the second junior high school in the William S. Hart Union School District, and it opened to 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. Since then, this school has been home to well over 50,000 students. Times were very different, of course, in 1964. Man had yet to walk on the moon. You actually had to cook dinner in the oven or on the stove. There were no microwaves. Students mastered the art of penmanship and typing on a typewriter, no computers, so that meant there was no cutting and pasting. And if you didn't know how to spell a word, you actually had to look it up in a real dictionary, a book. And there was no such thing as autocorrect. It cost about a dime to make a phone call from a public payphone, and without a cell phone, smartphone, or the internet, you couldn't just wonder about something and say, oh, let me Google it or ask Siri. You actually had to stroll to your local library and look things up. Things have changed over the last 50 years, but one thing has remained constant, and that's the sense of dedication and commitment to providing an excellent education and having a true sense of love and passion for the students at Sierra Vista. And we owe thanks to so many current and former fabulous staff, teachers, counselors, administrators, along with our school board and our city and county and state government and all of their support. And it's everyone working together, united with a common goal centered on students. And there are so many special individuals here tonight, and thank you for coming. We have our current board members, Mr. Steve Sturgeon and Mrs. Linda Storley. District representation from Superintendent Mrs. Vicki Enbrick. And our Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Mike Coleman. Our Director of Special Programs, Mrs. Jill Schenberg. And I'd like to thank our PR Director for the district, Mr. Dave Caldwell. Mrs. Jamie Alsman is here, and she's representing the Teacher Association. Mrs. Mia Reed, unfortunately, was ill today, or she would have been here representing our classified as well. We're so honored to have so many other district administrators and teachers, current and retired, here to celebrate this historic event, and we'll point out some of them in just a little bit. But I'd like to thank Mr. Wilkes, Assemblyman Wilkes, for coming tonight. Mr. Oviedo is here representing the city of Santa Clarita. Mrs. Rosalind Wayman is here for Superintendent Antonovich. We also have Sergeant Vanderleek, who's here representing the city of Santa Clarita and our Sheriff's Department. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Steve Sturgeon, our Hart School Board member and area trustee for Canyon Country, who's going to say a few words.
Good evening, Sierra Vista. In 1964, I was in 9th grade. I could have started here. 16 years later, I moved into the city of Santa Clarita, then not a city, and my children went to Sulphur Springs, and the boundaries at that time caused them to go to La Mesa, not to Sierra Vista. But in actual fact, the district has built schools around communities, and this truly is one of our best and foremost community schools over time. While my children didn't go here to their classes, they grew up here. I grew up here. We started when they were 5 and 6 years old, playing on the Rec and Parks basketball teams and practicing in the old gym. By the time they were 7 and 8, they were in the AYSO program, where they spent, and I spent 10 years on these fields out here, refereeing, coaching, and playing soccer anywhere from 5 to 8 hours a day, practice and otherwise. By high school time, we were using the backfield for the freshmen's baseball teams. I've been on Sierra Vista's campus more than I've been on any other campus over the course of my life. And I've watched it grow and grow successfully, academically and athletically, and through their fine arts programs. There is nothing more exciting than to see a school continue to develop over time. I was here when the Boys and Girls Club had a little small building out in the back corner. I think it's Pleasantdale, and White's Canyon. Soledad was a 2-lane road, not a 6-lane road, and you could park on White's Canyon along the fence that exists now. You could park there and walk onto campus. All of that has changed. That's called history. The new Boys and Girls Club was a campaign put on by both the City of Santa Clarita, the local nonprofit organizations, along with the Boys and Girls Club, to raise $500,000 in order to build the school in concert with the Heart District. These are some of the historical moments that others may not have told you or you may not have heard of. This school has been here for 50 years. No doubt it will be here for another 50 years. And someday my grandchildren or their children may in fact be standing before you thanking you and your children or grandchildren for what you've done to bring to this community. Thank you all and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Sturgeon. Please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Mrs. Vicki Enbrick, who began her teaching career here at Sierra Vista. Thank you for being here. Sierra Vista will always be a really special place for me. I was hired by Mr. Laurie Strauss for my very first job in the Heart District back in 1976 and taught English here at Sierra Vista for the next 17 years. I didn't think they were ever going to pry me out of here. It's also special because both of my sons were students at Sierra Vista. This is a great school, and I'm so thankful to the current leadership, all the past leadership, the wonderful teachers and support staff, and the community, and I wish you a very celebratory 50 years. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like to have Mr. Matt Ballard join us on stage, and he will be introducing some of our other special guests.
Hi, everybody. Yeah. Thanks for being here tonight. This is really special for me to get to be a part of something like this. And one of the great unique things about Sierra Vista and this community here is how closely knit it's been and how people refuse to leave. Nobody ever really leaves Sierra Vista. People just kind of end up coming back for more. And I'm certainly no exception. A product of this school myself, learning to play the saxophone in 7th grade and coming back here to teach is really truly an honor for myself and everybody else who knows in the same position. And none of this would really be possible or be here without the help of one very, very special person, not just at this school, but also to me. A person who has been truly a mentor in education and in life and a great just friend and role model to me, my grandfather and Sierra Vista's very first principal, Dr. Dave Baker.
I hope you can hear me. I have to thank all of you for what you have done for this school. There was a day when we arrived in this community back in 1952, when there was nothing more than a lot of rattlesnakes and jackrabbits running around everywhere. And it's interesting that, as you know, that was soon after World War II. But our veterans came out and they were looking for homes. And this property looked advantageous to a lot of people. And the contractors started developing homes. And those homes generated children. Hart High School District at that time had less than 500 students, grades 7 through 12. And we only had the 7th and 8th grade because the elementary districts allowed it, and they still do. Because absent that, there would not be a Hart High School District. It developed to the point where the homes started filling up, and we started thinking about building schools. Placerita was the first school. My entry to this area was in 1952, and I did not have anything but a degree. And I didn't expect to be employed here, because I rode out here with a friend of mine because he wanted some company to evaluate Hart District. Art Hawks, Assistant Superintendent of the County of LA. We came out here, and before we left, I had signed a contract. And we taught everything at that point in time. Now let's take it back to 1963, about 11, 12 years after that. We had Placerita constructed, and the school board asked me at that point in time, I was the assistant principal at Hart High, and he said, well, let's make you the principal, relieve you of a year, and you build the school. But we hired a new architect and laid out plans and tried to get community help, organize community people. And because of that and the community support, this school came to be. This is an old drag strip. And then before that time, it was a flight line. They had biplanes and they used to dust drop. Kind of interesting. There were no paved roads and there was no signals in this entire Santa Clarita Valley. None. It was kind of interesting how we used to drive. Most cars, because of the gravel roads, had broken windows. So we always knew who was a local person. Let's talk about the school. The parental support was so great that we were able to build this school even though, and staff it and bring the children in, even though it was not completed. The subdivisions were building right across Stillwell here, and we commandeered those empty new homes and used them for classrooms the first year and a half until this school was completed. As a result of that, we did a lot of different kinds of things in this school to make it happen. For instance, team teaching started here. We had to build certain kinds of classrooms, which actually opened up and we could have more students, but at the same time, we generated a difference in the faculty where there was team teaching, and it resulted in helping the children learn. We did other things regarding this particular school, and I have to tell you that I look at the school today and I can say the faculty is the number one issue, is the parental support, the public support, along with the faculty, and that's what made it. And ladies and gentlemen, the family is the result of a good student body. And with that, this school will continue to prosper. As I'm looking out at the results of it as we family. I have to thank the faculty that I was blessed with, because we did all kinds of things. Some of them would not stand the legal end of it today. But we did them. And we got by with it. And at the same time, the young people went on and prospered. But I guess it's been about 6 months now. There was a reunion at Hart High of students that went to the school district here in the 50s, the early 50s. And my wife and I were the only 2 faculty members left in that area. Our students that were present were in an age range of 75 to 79. So you know how much older I am. We had a long conversation, and some of the things that we did, I think I would bring back. And I'm saying this because I feel very strongly. We administrators are number one, teachers first. We can't forget that we're teachers. That's where it starts. And we get out of the classroom, and I'm a little bit concerned about it. I've been in this business 63 years. And I taught almost every year of those 63, even though you might have the title as an administrator. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the evidence of the faculty, of the parental support, administration, the county governments, the state government. That's what USA is all about. Without that, without our education, we are not going to compete. Again, I want to thank all of you for being here, supporting of the school, and the continuation of what this stands for. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. I'd also like to thank some of our other former Sierra Vista principals that are here, Mr. Laurie Strauss and Mr. Mark Crawford, Mr. Randy Parker. There's a lot of former APs that are here as well, so they can give a big shout out. We have some very special guests that are here that would like to share a few words with our community. I'd first like to welcome from the 38th District, Assemblyman Wilkes.
Good evening. What an honor to have you here, Principal Baker, and what a legacy you've left, so, congratulations to you. Although I gotta tell you, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't share some of those war stories from way back when you said that it might not have been legal now, because I'm pretty confident the statute of limitations has expired. So I think we're kind of good to go, so I'm gonna talk to you offline when we're done here today. Anyway, it's interesting that Principal Hoffman mentioned Google, because Google has 9 governing principles, and one of those principles is the mission matters, and the mission matters for our children. Sierra Vista for 50 years now has been equipping children to compete, and particularly now in a global economy between globalization and their internet revolution. Each of these children are competing with every other child across the globe, and we have to have those children prepared. Not only to make our country competitive, we have a moral obligation to make sure that they succeed. And then secondly, building young people of character, because they are going to be the next leaders of our nation. And Lord knows we need leadership in Washington, D.C. and in Sacramento. So Principal Hoffman, I'd like you to come up here. I'd love to present you this official California State Assembly resolution commemorating 50 years of excellence here at Sierra.
Thank you so much. I'd now like to welcome Mr. Oveteo from the City of Santa Clarita.
Where are we in the...
What a great event. Thank you for having me. Mayor Bob Keller sends his apologies. He was, as many elected officials know, they get called away to many things, and so he is at a meeting tonight, and he sends his apologies for not being here. But on behalf of Mayor Bob Keller, our Mayor Pro Tem, Dante Acosta, Councilmember Laureen West, Councilmember Marsha McLean, and Councilmember Tim Van Boysten, we'd like to present you with this certificate. The certificate says, recognizing 50 years of outstanding service and dedication to the students of Santa Clarita. Thank you for a job well done, and congratulations on your anniversary celebration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I'd like to welcome from Supervisor Antonovich's office, Mrs. Rosalind Wayman.
Thank you, Principal Hoffman. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Supervisor Antonovich wishes you a wonderful day and night. A wonderful evening. He's unable to be here, but I'd like to present you with a scroll from the County of Los Angeles, congratulating you on your anniversary and thanking you for all that you do.
Thank you so much, and again, thank you for joining us. There are some special items up here that I'd like to share that were special dedications tonight that came from various individuals. First, over to my left, we have a beautiful picture of William S. Hart, which we say every day with in regards to our school district. This was dedicated and donated by the Michael Copenhagen family. Both of Mr. Copenhagen's children were former students at Sierra Vista, and he is still a teacher here, very loved history and guitar teacher, and he's currently dressed as the Plainsman. So thank you to their family. To my right, we have a beautiful hand-designed wagon wheel, and this came from Sky Ostrom and her family. Sky, she's waving right there. Sky attended Sierra Vista. She's one of the beloved science teachers here, and she was the big vision for tonight. So thank you to Sky and to her family. Currently, right here, we have our beautiful new Sierra Vista sign that was donated by our current class of 2016. And this will be the new sign that will now hang on the corner of White's and Stillmore in honor of our 50th anniversary. So thank you to our students, and a huge thanks to Ron Ippolito and his family for their support in overseeing everything with this project. Thank you, Ron. And a huge thanks to our Sierra Vista art students, because they have been working hard and they painted in the green on the sign. I'd also like to thank the district. In front of our school, they planted 4 trees for us this year, and we have dedicated those trees in honor of our 50th anniversary to 4 very special people. The first is in honor of our superintendent, Mrs. Ingbrick, who was a teacher here. Another tree was dedicated to Dr. Baker, the founding principal of Sierra Vista. The third tree was dedicated to all the current staff and students here celebrating our 50th anniversary this year at Sierra Vista. And finally, the 4th tree that's right in front is dedicated in the memory of the former school resource officer, Deputy Devin Freeman, who was our school deputy here. He was a remarkable man, and I say all the time, he's the guardian angel looking over Sierra Vista. So some huge thanks to our entire office staff. They have been working so hard with us on this evening. And I have to give a huge shout out to my right hand, amazing office manager and friend, Mrs. Anna Valverde, who's hiding over there. Her talents and her ability, she always smiles and she says yes to the millions and millions of things that I ask her to do all the time. So thank you, Anna. Thank you to Mr. Mark Funk and his outstanding custodial crew. They work so hard to keep our 50-year-old campus looking sparkly and new, and they are such hard workers, and I appreciate all you've done to keep the school looking so beautiful and also for this evening. Mrs. Laura Schmidt, you might have seen her in the back with Miley. She was a student here. She's also the lead campus supervisor. And our campus supervisors do such an amazing job of keeping our students safe, and they're always here when we need anything. So I want to give a huge thanks to them. And of course, huge thanks to our teachers, our counselors, our instructional assistants. They come to Sierra Vista every day with a smile. They give of themselves tirelessly to support every student on campus and every student's special need. And I need to really thank you because this night would not have happened if it wasn't for all of your hard work.
Yes.
And a big shout out to Mrs. Flaherty and her outstanding ASB students that just have worked and worked and worked to help us. Thank you, Summer. And definitely huge thanks to our tech guy, Kazi, because he helped get everything set up in there, so thank you. And Sky, I'm not sure, she's probably around there waiting somewhere. I want to thank everyone that helped support the evening. We had a 50th planning committee that was led by Sky Ostrom, and this was her vision and her inspiration, and it brought us to where we are tonight. And I just want to thank her and her parents for all their support. Ask your students today about all the different demonstrations that they learned about and were part of in their science classes. A huge thank to our PAC parents, and especially Mrs. Tucker. I'm not sure where she is, but she has lived here with us for weeks, so thank you, Karen. Her hours and hours that she has spent working on every detail tonight and everything in the NPR is just amazing. And lastly, thanks to Mr. Hinsey and Mrs. Iacenda, my two assistant principals, who give of themselves 100% every day at Sierra Vista, and I can't thank you enough for all your hard work. So in conclusion, congratulations, Sierra Vista, and here's to another 50 years, and I wish you all a good night and safe travels, and thank you so much for joining us.